Good morning, Cole McTavish. My name is Mason Suley, and this is my co-host, Noah Martin.
What's up?
February 9th, and at day 2.
Mathematics. Wondering who you're most compatible with? Fill out your personality forms and see who you match with. The price is $2 per sheet at lunchtime this week in the atrium on the junior high side or the Learning Commons on the high school side.
Do you like trivia? Want to prove that you're the smartest person and earn bragging rights for a whole year? That's 365 days. Come to our team trivia competition Thursday, February 16th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and games start at 7 p.m. at Cole McTavish. Teams up to 5 players will compete in 10 rounds of 10 questions and $10 per individual player. That's 3 tens. That's like 30. All the Cole McTavish students are welcome to sign up, and teams must pre-register. Spots are limited. Cash prizes for first, second, and third place teams, plus fabulous door prizes to be won.
Oh, I want those so bad.
Scan the QR code, fill out the registration form, pay in the atrium on the 7th or 9th. So you can't do it the 7th unless you're a time traveler. So the 9th.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and you are being motivated to purchase popcorn grams for your crush. These popcorn grams are selling from now to February 10th. You must know their first and last name, and if you're on the high school side, you must know their second block class, and if you're on the junior high side, you must know their homeroom teacher.
It's $2 for 1 or 3 for 5. My name's Mason Suley. First name Mason, last name Suley. My second block class is Mr. Perano. Whoa! Fashion Friday, Jersey Day! Friday, February 10th is Jersey Day. Come in your favorite jersey. Let it be Toronto Maple Leafs, Blue Jays, or Oilers, or the Oil Barons. Those are the only sports teams I know. Those are all different sports. I'm pretty sure Blue Jays is...
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have a mental shift.
Baseball.
Okay.
Jerseys. Yay.
Hi, my name is Perline, and I'm 25 years old, and I'm a teacher. As an educator, in all aspects, I see myself as an active, inclusive, and a lifelong learner. My philosophy of education is pretty complex. I tend to use pedagogies that promote active interaction with the curriculum, but also create a passionate and purposeful learning environment. Now, I strongly believe that learning should be reciprocal, where we learn from each other in a safe space that's socially and culturally and academically inclusive. Now, I believe inclusivity is not limited to just cultural and social differences, but is also the process of recognition, reflection, and acceptance, which is why I was so excited to do this project. In this space, we get to share our experiences as Black Canadians, share our history, our past, our present, so that others can learn and do better in the future. So here's my story. I was born and raised in Bronx, New York, and I lived there with my mom and my sister. Unfortunately, my mom got really sick, and so I had to move to Canada and live with some family here. Now, that in itself was a huge culture shock because I was one out of maybe the 8 or 9 Black students in my school. And so at a young age, I felt the pressure to be a representative of my race, but also felt as an outcast. I got made fun of with my hair, how I spoke, what I looked like. And when it came to Black History Month, I remember learning about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, all Black historic American icons. But I did not learn about Portia White or Rosemary Brown or Lincoln Alexander, Canadians who made an impact on our Black history. As a teacher, I find it necessary to address the issues of racism, false assumptions, and how we should just treat one another with care and respect, in efforts to eliminate these socially constructed stereotypes that are being exposed to my students and the younger generation. And unfortunately, most of the time, these assumptions aren't coming from them, but from what they learn outside of my classroom walls. And you know what? To have teaching as a career is like having a rewarding challenge every day. Not only to challenge your students with new content and opening up the space for critical thinking, but to also challenge yourself as an individual to take on the job as educating the future leaders of the world. For today's moment, I'll be talking to you about Africville. Africville was an African-Canadian village founded in the mid-18th century in the north end of Halifax. The Black presence in this land dates way back to 1848, and research shows that the community continued to exist 150 years after that. Freed slaves, Jamaican Maroons, and Black refugees from the War of 1812 all made up this close-knit community, where there are stores, schools, a post office, a Baptist church. Essentially, Black prosperity existed here. However, the local government systematically destroyed this thriving, independent neighborhood. Although taxes were collected in Africville, the government of Halifax refused to provide simple services such as paved roads, garbage collection, sewers, and even running water. The government further worsened the community's circumstances by building undesirable developments around the area, like a hospital filled with infectious diseases, a prison, and a human waste dump. These horrible measures were left in place until the neighborhood was demolished in 1964. Now, despite the resilience of the locals and their unwillingness to displace from the land, their land that they owned, the government's plan worked, and they drove the residents out of the area. Fast forwarding 40 years, since the last home in Africville was demolished, open wounds are still healing. The mayor of Halifax decided to deliver an apology in 2010 and promised to deliver a replica church and interpretive center. However, former residents of Africville did not accept this apology. It was seen as a token gesture because none of the residents that were displaced were ever compensated for their pain and anguish. It's important that we know our history as it represents our oppression faced by Black Canadians and challenges the narrative of there's no racism in Canada, which isn't true. It is now time for us to uncover our Black Canadian history. So here's my question to you. As a community of learners, what are we gonna do to educate our students about our Black Canadian experiences from the past and the present? What steps are we gonna take to make sure that our future is better informed than we were? So we can finally learn from the past and to create a better future that is positive, restorative, and has a justified change for the global community. For more information, click on the links below.
McCoy Youth Town Hall Series. This will be going on from Thursday, February 16th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in Wood Buffalo Regional Library. Join in person or online to discuss addiction and mental health. The code will be right here.
Well, that's all the news for today, McTavish. But we have a fun fact we want to know as friends.
Nate and Ryder!
Yay!
I'm Ryder, and the fun fact is there's 365 days in a year.
That was an interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that actually for some reason.
I'm broken on the inside.
But don't go just yet. We have an interview with more of Noah's friends.
Reese and Joel!
Yay!
Hello, McTavish. I'm your host Noah, and we're interviewing
Joel?
And Reese.
whoever those guys are. What brings you to McTavish?
Oh, I don't really know. My parents just like signed me up here, and I have no regrets. I like the school.
It's just, for me, it's just closer to my house.
Who's your best friend? Tell me right now.
I have a bunch of best friends. I have a bunch of best friends.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to say my boy Noah right here.
What's your favorite class?
My favorite class? I'd have to say Mr. Staples' classroom.
My favorite class, I forget what it's called. It's like where everybody eats lunch.
Lunch?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a good joke?
I did.
You want like a really good joke? What did the locker say to the trash can?
I have no idea.
I honestly don't know either.
All right, thanks for the interview, Reese and Joel.
Yeah, that was some pretty sick interviewing.
Yeah.
But that's all we have. That's all the news. No more news.
No more news.
Goodbye, McTavish.